All right. Cam, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, doing good.
Do you get to answer some trivia questions over there?
Yeah, just a little bit. Helped out my boy Iman.
If you were going on a quiz show, what category would you want to be asked in trivia?
You got to be something football related, Star Wars.
Okay.
Yeah, football and Star Wars for sure.
Star Wars, I probably not be as good at that. As
What's the best Star Wars, Cam? What's the best Star Wars movie? In your opinion? Revenge of the Sith. So you're going with that's one of the newer ones, right?
No.
Yeah, that was 2005. Well, 2005. It's new to me, Cam, not you. So.
I just saw Empire Strikes Back, and then that was it for me. I was out, so that's my bad. I'll have to check out some of the rest of those. You had 27 starts. I said when OSU takes a field against Tennessee Martin to open the season, there may not be the rest of the entire other 21 players on the field have as many starts at OSU as you do. So how important is your role on this team, just being a leader and guiding guys?
Just showing them, the proper preparation going into the game, because like you said, I started 27 games. So I know what it takes, before the game to, mentally and physically prepare. So, show the younger guys or someone who hasn't gotten as many starts, the ropes is that. And just, teach them, like, little things I do to, like, kind of keep myself calm, and mentally locked in before the game.
There's some really good quarterbacks in this league. And you guys will go up against Sawyer Robinson in the first conference game. So what is your evaluation kind of scout on the other quarterbacks in the league?
Just kind of pick up on their tendencies, things they do, kind of study the formations that they have, based off this formation, what targets, they like to see, third downs, their targets, basically just studying, picking up on those little things.
Oklahoma State's got almost an entirely new group of wide receivers. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Who's tough cover for you in practice?
This spring, we a lot of the new receivers, they're really good. Io, Gavin Freeman, Dwayne Lofton. Recently we just added, a receiver from Marshall and a receiver from UCO, and I think those are two good additions. It don't really matter what receiver I'm going against. I kind of, just try to, play my game and do what I can do.
Terrell Davis had a great season at UCO, and you mentioned him coming in from Choctaw. Can he make that transition, you think, from that level into Division I?
Yeah, definitely from what I've been seeing. I feel like, you hearing someone come from D2 to D1, you like, he's just going to be a role guy. But I don't think he's that. I think he could really make an impact this year.
Tell me about the quarterbacks. What stands out for each of those guys?
I think they all have, like, their own, little things, to their game that they do. I think they're all good in their own way, and they all can add something to our offense.
What's your favorite place to play on the road in the Big 12?
BYU was my favorite for sure. Yeah, definitely BYU. Just going into the fourth quarter, little thing that they have, with their mascot banging on the I don't know what's called, the big drum up there.
Right.
They can low key kind of gets me like amped up, like I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Well, are you looking forward to the trip to Oregon?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll say that trip to Oregon and Texas Tech. I've heard stories about Texas Tech. And
that crowd can be a little ugly.
Yeah, that's what I heard about the tortillas. Right. Yeah. Last time we played there was my freshman year. I didn't travel. I redshirted that year. And I was just watching on TV. They're throwing tortillas, hot dogs, and all types of stuff. I think that's going to be crazy.
Do you really feel like you're totally acclimated to Stillwater now? Is that the right choice for you? And what do you like about the community?
Yeah, I always feel like Stillwater was the right choice for me. Every time someone calls me and asks me, what do I like about Stillwater? I just like, it's just a little quiet town. Honestly, like, obviously, if you want to have fun, you can have fun. But I think, for me to be able to be locked in and, focus on what I need to focus on, Stillwater was the place for me, definitely coming out of high school.
Tell me do you have a pregame routine? Do you get hyped for a game? Any kind of music you listen to? Anything that you make sure that you do that you have superstitions with?
Yeah, I'm not really, really get amped up. I like to, keep, my nerves, at bay. But, I listen to, like, hype music. Like, I listen to Lil Boosie Set It Off, like, probably on repeat the whole day. And, like, the night before, I have, like, a meal that I eat before that, go to sleep, wake up, depending on the time of the game, take a little nap. And then by then, I'm already ready, mentally there.
Iman said he has a jeweler. Do you have a jeweler lined up?
No, I don't have a jeweler. I need to ask Iman about his.
NIL. You need a jeweler.
Yes, I need
somebody looking for somebody to sponsor.
Yes, I'm Cam Smith looking for a jeweler. So if you're out there, I am Cam Smith on Instagram.
All right, well, we'll get the Insta out there.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Cam, man.
Yes,
Good to see you. Good luck this year.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate that too very much.